Right, so question 5, you might think this would be the one that goes on the longest, but I'm really not going to because, I've explained and gone through each individual source. What have I seen from question 5? Well, a lack of focus on the word attitudes. Lots of you have talked about how things changed for women, but that's not the same as attitudes. The examiner is going to put it so that it's a little bit more difficult than how much did things change for women, because it's blindingly obvious that things change for women. They've put a little thing on attitudes to differentiate between the C grades and the A's and the A stars. So if you're not focused on this word attitudes, you've not focused on the question. And the reason why I've put this is how you should set out your answer. I mean, I've told you this before, and I've given you a sheet with it on, and loads of things on the internet, including tutorials like this. But still, I'm getting people just writing a source at a time. Don't do that. If you do a paragraph where you go with this, so on the one hand is a good way to start. On the one hand, attitudes towards women did change, and give plenty of evidence from the sources and your own knowledge. Then you do a paragraph against. If you want to, you could divide it into a couple of paragraphs for and a couple of paragraphs against. If it's logical to do that, and you are lucky enough to have had enough time to write that much. Um, and then, of course, use sources and your own knowledge. And then you finish with a conclusion. In conclusion, attitudes towards women did change or didn't change, or something clever around that theme. What did I see this time? Well, a lot of people clearly revised, and that's wonderful. So lots of you wrote a lot of your own knowledge, but without the sources. A small number, one or two people, wrote about the sources with barely any own knowledge. But this is what you were doing. I'm going to even put a cross through it so you can see. This is what we were missing out. You were not doing this. I'm going to make it red. It made me feel better. You were not using quotes or features from the sources, and that limited me getting you past 10 marks. You just couldn't do it. Um, so it was crucial that you got those in. If you, like loads of you, this is not just one or two of you. So if you went through your answer and tried to highlight focus on the word attitude, some of you are gonna be missing that word, and I mean a few of you are gonna be missing that word often. You might have mentioned it once or twice, but often it's got to be there all the time. And quite a lot of you are going to be missing quotes or features from the sources. Almost all of you are going to have all knowledge, but that's no good. And this question is actually just about the most straightforward. You don't have to use every single little source. You might not have the time. You've just got to use some of the evidence in the sources, some of your own knowledge, for against conclusion. So if you get stuck with any of those other questions we've gone through, like 4, like 3, like 1, like 2, you can always rest assured that this is worth double any of the other questions just about one, a couple of 9 markers, but it's nearly double. And it's usually one that you can really write something about. Some of the sources you will be able to use, even if you don't understand quite how they relate to the questions being asked there. So there we go. That's question 5. We really have to crack that one because it's not that difficult to put quotes in from a source. So we really need to address that. And actually, it's this and maybe the message question. In fact, the comparison as well. But this is one key reason why I'm going to have you doing a Britain thing again next week. So there we go. Britain paper smashing.